Welcome back to my channel, the best place for new signers, intermediate signers, and struggling signers. In today's video, we are going to kick off our first conversation challenge for the year. So if you're dying to join me in this challenge, keep watching. As you may know, if you watched the last video, we have a huge goal of reaching 500,000 ASL conversations in the year 2021. To help us reach that goal, we are starting off with a fun and easy conversation challenge. Throughout the year, we're going to have more conversation challenges, so be sure to check back in often so you don't miss any of those. For our first challenge this year, we're going to keep it real simple and easy. You are to have one signed conversation every day for 5 days straight. That's not too bad, right? Okay, so let's break it down. What does a signed conversation entail? Remember, a signed conversation counts if it follows these guidelines. 1, it's a signed conversation of any length. We're not putting a time like it has to be 5 minutes or 10 minutes to count. It's any length, so it can be a couple of sentences and that's it. That's fine. So it can be of any length. It needs to be with a deaf or hard of hearing person, a fellow signer, that could be hearing, a coda, an interpreter, anything like that, or a fellow ASL student. Or it could be a child or a friend that is using sign language or learning to use sign language as well. Okay, now what doesn't count as a signed conversation? Signing to yourself, signing to an inanimate object, because that'd be weird. Although, I do have conversations with myself in English and sign language all the time. So I get it, but it doesn't count as a conversation. And signing with somebody that doesn't plan on learning sign language and doesn't know it. So if I sat down with my dad, who doesn't know sign language, and signed with him, it wouldn't count as a conversation. You're probably both excited about this challenge and probably like, wait a second. Where am I going to find people to sign with? I literally don't know anybody to sign with, Rochelle. We've talked about this before. I get it. Okay, so I'm going to give you some suggestions on where you can find people to sign with, especially if you're just sitting there going, yeah, this is great, but I don't know anybody to sign with. Thanks a lot. Rub it in. Rub it in. Okay, here is a list of places you can find people to sign with. You can join my free Facebook group and sign with people there. Meet up with people, say, hey, let's chat, let's sign, let's do this challenge together. You can join my course, ASL Accelerated, and have a whole bunch of people to sign with and have really nice group conversations as well as one-on-one conversations all the time. You can join the Facebook group ASL That, but you also need to make sure that you follow their very strict posting guidelines. Don't just go in there and jump in and be like, hey, someone sign with me, because that's not cool, okay? Of course, you can always go to your local deaf community events that are happening around you. So you're gonna have to do some investigating to find them. So if you know of a deaf event or something that's going on in your local deaf community that other people can participate in, please leave that in the comments below to help everybody out, and we can kind of like collect all of these ideas and share them with people. But of course, please be smart about the information you share. Be safe and don't share private details. Like, please don't ever post anybody's phone number or private home address. Please. Okay, the same can be said for in-person events, and there may not be in-person events around you. A lot of people are meeting online nowadays, so there may be some online chats or online get-togethers. So again, do some investigating, and this is nice because then you're not bound by one location. You can chat with people around the country, which is really exciting. So you'll want to do some investigating. You can find them in Facebook groups, ASL That, or other forums, maybe on Reddit. And again, if you know of events or places where people can sign up for online chats, please leave that in the comments below. That'd be really, really helpful. And maybe you'll see you at one of those. Another thing you can do is go on your social media accounts, the ones that you use, your personal ones, and say, hey guys, I'm looking for people to sign with, people that know sign language or learning sign language, or if anybody knows of any deaf or hard of hearing people in your area, say, hey, can you help me? I'm trying to practice with more people or participate in the deaf community more, and utilize the resources you have already, the people you know, or acquaintances, people you haven't talked to in a bajillion years. You know, like you're just collecting Facebook friends from like 1995 or whatever. Facebook isn't that old, but you know what I'm saying? Just leverage the people you know and reach out to them. Who knows? They may know an interpreter. They may know deaf or hard of hearing people that sign. They may know other ASL students, or they may be one as well. And so you can use that to practice. If there are local colleges, whether they be state colleges, universities, or community colleges, or if there's even community centers, look at each of those colleges and see if they have an ASL or an ITP program. ITP is an interpreter training program, or ASL classes, anything like that. And reach out, email each of the teachers that teach sign language there and ask them, hey, is there an ASL club that your students participate in? You can even ask them and use them as a resource. Hey, where is your local deaf community? Is there a chance that I can participate? Can you give me some information? Where can I find this information? They're a great resource for your local area, and as well as potentially knowing about a student club that you can join. Even if you're not a student, you should be able to join the ASL club. But don't quote me. It's just an option. Hopefully these ideas are getting your brain firing of how you can find people to chat with. And remember, these don't have to be in-person conversations. Online, video messages, these count too. So if you're like an app like Marco Polo and you like sign something to them and you send the video off, they watch it, send one back, that counts too. One last idea, you can find a friend or a family member and say, hey, look, you are going to learn sign language. You don't have a choice. You're going to sit your butt down and you're going to learn sign language, and we're going to converse together. And there you go. Built-in practice partner, and they won't be bitter or anything, because they'll realize that you were right all along and ASL is the best language to learn. They'll thank you. They'll thank you for forcing them into learning sign language. Just in case you're wondering, that last idea wasn't a real idea, but it's fun anyway. It's just fun to imagine what you could do. Throughout the next 5 days, I will be posting reminders on Instagram to say, hey, we're on day such and such, day 3, day 4 of the challenge, to keep it fresh on your mind. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, head over there so you can get those reminders and not forget. If you're joining our conversation challenge after the 5 days is up, this challenge is still for you. Pick any day and start. It doesn't matter if we're all live doing the challenge together or not. It still counts. Now, whether you do the challenge with us for these next 5 days or you do it any 5 days you pick, be sure to report how many signed conversations you have. Now, the minimum is 1 per day for 5 days. Now, if you have more than 1, then yeah, that counts. Like, do that. If you could have more than 1, do it. So use the link here. You'll see it on the screen, and it's also in the description box. Use that link to submit how many conversations you have. And if you do this challenge, repeat this challenge as many times as you want to on your own. And every time you do, report back the numbers. And I'll keep you up to date on how many conversations we're having throughout the year and then after this challenge. And I'll keep y'all updated on how we're doing, reaching our conversational goal challenge, and any new challenges that we have throughout the year, so you can know how we're all doing. If you love this challenge and are super excited about it, make sure you hit the notification bell, because in the next video, I'm going to tell you why you struggle to understand other people when they sign to you.